battery,
Turn around.
domestic violence.
Put your hands behind your back.
You got handcuffs?
According to our media partner, the Baltimore Banner, Davis was taken into custody after an impromptu hearing and will now finish his 3-month sentence in jail. WJZ is working to confirm why his sentencing.
Gervonta Davis faced yet another setback when he suddenly collapsed in court after receiving a new punishment for another violation. The Baltimore court had summoned boxing champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis, charging him with 2 separate offenses. One of the charges was linked to his previous hit-and-run case from years ago. Shockingly, Davis had been negligent in following his punishment, putting himself at risk of facing another serious sentence.
Dr. Davis, Mr. That's it. We finally got you up here.
Yes, Judge. Thank you very much.
No problem.
However, it was Davis's collapse in court that led the judge to reconsider his situation. On top of his past case, Davis is now facing bribery allegations after a leaked recording revealed a conversation between him and referee Steve Willis during his last fight. While debates continue, there is evidence suggesting something questionable happened. Despite this, his lawyer argues that the New York State Athletic Commission had already dismissed the case, making it irrelevant. Meanwhile, the controversy surrounding the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight continues to unfold.
Hey,
Davis put his WBA lightweight title on the line at the Barclays Center in New York on March 1st, in what many expected to be a routine title defense. However, the fight didn't go as planned. Lamont Roach had plenty of success throughout the bout, leading to a controversial moment in the 9th round. Davis voluntarily took a knee and went to his corner. The referee started counting but then stopped and chose not to rule it as a knockdown. Davis later claimed it happened because grease got in his eye. In the end, the fight was ruled a majority draw, with the judges scoring it 115-113 for Davis and 114-114 twice. If Roach had been awarded a 10-8 round in the 9th, he would have won the WBA lightweight title.
What Tank did that when he took the knee? What do you think when he took the knee?
I can't speak on it.
Can't speak on that?
Yes.
He did some bullshit though?
I can't speak on it.
No personal opinion, nothing?
Can't. Especially.
It has now been revealed what Roach told the referee during that controversial moment, making his stance clear. He repeatedly urged, "Keep counting. Keep counting." Roach later explained his thoughts in the moment. The referee started counting, but then I saw Davis get up and go to a corner. I was confused. I was focused on the count, but when I looked up and saw him standing there, I thought, what is going on? I believed it should have been a knockdown, so I asked the referee, "Why did you stop counting?" Roach's reaction only adds to the controversy surrounding the fight.
No, you guys calm down and listen to me.
Hey, come on now. He's trying to get it.
Lamont Roach Jr.'s team filed an official appeal against the verdict, but the New York State Athletic Commission decided to uphold the result. Still, Roach's confidence hasn't wavered. You'd expect him to take a step back after his appeal to overturn the controversial draw against Gervonta Davis on March 1st was denied, but he's staying vocal, especially when it comes to calling out Tank. The frustration makes sense, but at this point, both sides are pushing for a rematch. The next step: just sign the contract and settle it in the ring. But first, it looks like there's still some trash talk to get through.
Davis.
And, Your Honor, Mr. Hassett and I, assuming the court finds probable cause, we have an agreement.
Good morning, Judge Kenneth Hassett.
And it's no longer just about the fight. A few days ago, Lamont Roach Jr. got into a heated exchange with boxer Lorenzo Simpson, who backed Gervonta Davis and claimed Tank would knock Roach out in a rematch. Instead of letting it slide, Roach decided to flex his bankroll, throwing down a $250,000 bet and saying, "Yay, $250K, just like I bet your role model. If you can show it to me, we good money, little guy." His confidence is undeniable, but now he's pushing things even further. Just hours ago, he took to Instagram to send a direct warning to Gervonta Davis, something that Ring magazine was quick to highlight.
The niggas are not wishing not playing. Like, come on, bro. Y'all niggas is crazy. So we elsewhere with that shit.
Lamont Roach Jr. hinted at a rematch with Gervonta Davis in an Instagram post today. In the caption, the 25-1 boxer wrote, "*, I showed that I was a pound-for-pound talent against a generational star in the sport. I was born a star, but on March 1st, that star was finally under the world's microscope. I can't wait to run it back and put on another show. But why does Roach consider himself a pound-for-pound talent? For one, everyone remembers that moment in the 9th round when Gervonta "Tank" Davis took a knee. Tank insists it wasn't from a punch but a mix of hair grease and sweat that blurred his vision, forcing him down. Some believed the excuse, but many gave Roach credit for what looked like a near knockdown.
Just off the top, man, I was, a little disappointed. Just for the sake of boxing itself, and obviously my result for the fight. I think.
But is that one moment enough for Roach to believe he's better than Davis? Probably not. Another reason for his sky-high confidence could be Ring Magazine's latest pound-for-pound rankings. Devin Haney took Davis's spot, and ESPN now has Roach ranked number 6 in the 135-pound division. That kind of recognition can definitely fuel a fighter's ego. As for Gervonta Davis, what's he doing about all this? Well, it's a mix of yes and no. After initially saying he wanted the rematch by the end of May, he's gone completely silent. And that's unusual for Tank. He's usually quick to fire back with trash talk. But this time, the 30-year-old has been keeping quiet. And when a fighter like him goes silent, it usually means something big is in the works.
The key that they pointed out the things that were actually done wrong, and there's still no movement to overturn the fight. Just really saddened me a little bit. But I wasn't too hung on.
If this rematch happens, and Roach's promoter, Gary Jonas, insists it will, it might finally deliver the fireworks fans expected the first time around. But the real question is Tank planning a stronger comeback, or is he eyeing the exit? Gervonta Davis has already hinted that he's only got 3 or 4 fights left before retirement. And let's be honest, if he's winding down his career, he's going to chase the biggest payday possible. Now, think about it. Does a rematch with a relatively lesser-known name like Lamont Roach Jr. bring in the kind of money he's after? Or would he make way more by securing a fight with a bigger star like Shakur Stevenson?
Of the New York State Athletic Commission, I kind of accepted my fate just a little bit. I had a lot of hope, though. I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of hope. But
funny enough, Tank originally brushed off the idea of fighting Roach, saying he hadn't done enough for the sport. But in a recent sit-down with NBA analyst Stephen A. Smith on ESPN, he suddenly seemed more open to the idea. A fight with Ryan Garcia would definitely be a massive payday, but it's not happening anytime soon. First, Garcia has to get past Rolly Romero on May 2nd. And if he wins, Devin Haney will be waiting, assuming Haney takes care of business against Jose Carlos Ramirez that same night. So, Tank versus Garcia too? It's possible, but it's going to take time that Tank may not have to spare. Meanwhile, Roach has been relentless, staying on his radar even while Tank was dealing with a court case.
I view that I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just.
A Baltimore judge spared WBA lightweight champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis from jail time on Wednesday after he admitted to violating his probation for a hit and run that injured 4 people, including a pregnant woman. Circuit Judge Alia M. Handy chose to extend Davis's probation by 18 months instead and ordered him to donate $1,000 to the Community Assistance Network. Davis, now 30 and living in Parkland, Florida, admitted to leaving the state without approval. His probation agent in Maryland happened to spot him dining at Proper Cuisine in downtown Baltimore on January 22nd, less than half a mile from the Clarence M. Mitchell and Elijah E. Cummings courthouses. Judge Handy noted that Davis's Florida probation officer had been lenient, even granting him travel passes for 2 trips to the U.S. Virgin Islands.
We elsewhere with that shit, and niggas dick eating like they start, like, come on. When I start wearing chrome heavy and showing shit off, and that's when niggas start wearing.
Judge Handy also noted that she had granted Davis permission to attend the 2024 Paris Olympic Games to support and advise Team USA Boxing. However, she denied his request to travel to Japan for his 30th birthday. At the same time, Handy questioned what sentencing him to more jail time would accomplish. "I don't like sending anyone to jail, sir. I really don't," she told Davis. "But you need to wake up, please." She later added, "I don't ever want to see you in court again." Davis, a Baltimore boxing champion, had previously been sentenced to 90 days of home detention for the 2020 hit and run.
The home detention, people, I listened to everybody to the T. She's mad that I bought a property, that's why I'm sitting in jail.
Baltimore boxing champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis pleaded guilty in a hit-and-run case, marking the latest chapter in his ongoing legal troubles. Davis, who grew up in West Baltimore and holds an impressive 30-1 record, recently retained his title after a majority draw against Lamont Roach. In 2023, he admitted to 4 traffic offenses in Baltimore Circuit Court related to the 2020 crash. The incident occurred around 2 a.m. on November 5, 2020, when Davis ran a red light at the intersection of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and Washington Boulevard. His 2020 Lamborghini Urus collided with a 2004 Toyota Solara before crashing into a 7-Eleven fence.
I shouldn't have. She wanted me to be in an apartment, a one-bed apartment.
Judge Handy sentenced Gervonta "Tank" Davis to 90 days of home detention and 3 years of probation, citing a consistent pattern of disregarding the law. He was originally required to serve his sentence at the home of his longtime coach and trainer, Calvin Ford. However, Handy later revoked his home detention after discovering that Davis had been staying at a Four Seasons hotel and a $3.4 million penthouse condo in Locust Point instead. In a now-deleted Instagram Live, Davis criticized the judge, calling her crazy and claiming, "She locked me up because basically, I bought a property." Asterisk.
You know what I mean? And I couldn't even, you know what I mean, take that. You know what I mean? She wanted me to stay in a one-bed apartment, trying to have my kids and nothing come visit me and things like that. I just want to spread light on this situation because
Davis ended up spending more than 6 weeks in jail. During Wednesday's hearing, both of his probation agents recommended additional jail time. Kia Yanzi, his Maryland probation officer, noted that she often had to go through his team or attorney just to reach him. Frustrated, Judge Handy remarked, "He's a grown man. I don't understand." Assistant State's Attorney David Owens, chief of the Misdemeanor Jury Trial Unit, said he had discussed the case with Baltimore State's Attorney Ivan Bates and suggested a $5,000 fine as a resolution.
Court finds probable cause.
And Your Honor, we agreed to a $1,000 bond, no victim contact, if that's acceptable to the court.
Okay.
Judge Handy questioned Assistant State's Attorney David Owens about his conversation with State's Attorney Ivan Bates regarding the case. Owens explained that Bates had assigned him to it and confirmed that he was requesting a $25,000 fine. Davis's attorney, Hunter Pruitt, urged the judge to keep his client out of jail, arguing that Davis had met all probation requirements and had given back to the community in multiple ways.
$1 bond, no contact. Have a good day.
Happy holidays, Judge. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Pruitt acknowledged that Davis's decision was regrettable, but insisted it wasn't made with illegal intent. He was training, Pruitt added. Davis apologized for his actions, reiterating that he had been focused on training. However, Judge Handy pointed out that his Maryland probation officer had spotted him at a restaurant with a group of people. "You weren't training," she said. "You were out celebrating." Davis clarified that he had been training in Washington, D.C., but went to Baltimore for dinner. After 2 separate discussions at the bench, Handy delivered her final sentence.
Dick eaters. And I'm selling all my shit too.
Judge Handy jokingly told Davis that the only reason she ever wants to see him back in her courtroom is if he goes to law school and becomes an attorney. Meanwhile, in the ring, Gervonta "Tank" Davis's habit of starting slow nearly cost him on Saturday night. His WBA lightweight title defense against Lamont Roach Jr. ended in a shocking majority draw in front of a packed crowd of 19,250 at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Davis held on to his title, but it was a fight he'd probably rather forget. 2 judges scored it 114-114, while the third gave Davis a narrow 115-113 edge. ESPN also had it 114-114. "Lamont is a great fighter," Davis admitted afterward. "Like I said before, he's got skills, he's got power. It was a lesson. Hopefully, we can run it back." One of the fight's strangest moments came in the 9th round when Davis unexpectedly took a knee after a light jab from Roach. Referee Steve Willis chose not to call it a knockdown, but the moment could have shifted momentum in Roach's favor. Davis later explained that grease from his hair got into his eye, forcing him to kneel. The fight continued without a penalty, but the controversy lingered.
On live, but I went back and I watched it, and shit, Tank lost that fight, period. And that's even without the knockdown, he lost.
If the knockdown had been called, Roach could have won the 9th round with a 10-8 score. Instead, 2 judges scored it 10-9 in Davis's favor. Davis defended the moment, saying, "I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in my hair. When I was sweating, it burned my eyes." Roach didn't dispute Davis's explanation, but made it clear that rules are rules and that he should have been awarded the knockdown. "If you take a knee and the ref starts counting, it should be a knockdown," Roach said. "If that's a knockdown, I win the fight. I'm not banking on that to win. I just thought I did enough."
The fight, yeah, just didn't do enough work. I thought that Roach's game plan was.
Davis entered the fight as the heavy favorite, with many expecting him to secure his 29th career knockout against Roach, who was making his lightweight debut. Backed by a pro-Davis crowd, Tank was expected to deliver his signature highlight reel finish. Instead, Roach held his ground, absorbed Davis's power shots, and fired back with punches that stunned both Davis and the audience. Known for his patient approach, Davis started slow, waiting for Roach to make a mistake he could exploit. But Roach stayed disciplined, refusing to give Davis an opening to counter. Early on, Davis smiled and talked trash, trying to rattle Roach. But as the fight progressed, he had to get serious when he realized his opponent wasn't going to crumble under pressure. Roach Jr., 29, had faced Davis in the amateurs and came up short, but this time, he proved he belonged in the ring with the champ. But Roach never gave Davis the opening he was looking for to counter and take control. Early on, Davis smiled and tried to engage in some trash talk, but that confidence faded once he realized Roach wasn't backing down under the bright lights. The two had met before in the amateurs, where Roach, now 29, came up short against Davis. However, this time, he was determined to prove he belonged at the elite level.
Lamont definitely won. All right, G. I feel like Lamont Roach won. I definitely feel like Lamont Roach won. But a draw, like, it is what it is type shit, I ain't hating on it.
After turning pro, Davis and Roach took very different paths. Davis became one of boxing's biggest stars, while Roach built a solid reputation but fell short in his only other world title shot, a loss to Jamal Herring for the WBO super featherweight belt in 2019. Davis's rise to superstardom was cemented in 2023 when he knocked out Ryan Garcia, a victory that helped him stake his claim as the face of boxing. But against Roach, that title nearly slipped away in what turned out to be a lackluster performance. Their past may have given Davis a false sense of security coming into the fight, but Roach was ready for everything Tank had to offer, including his devastating knockout power. By the middle rounds, Davis's confidence started to fade as he realized the knockout he expected wouldn't come easily. He began throwing more punches to create openings, but Roach stood firm, firing back with sharp counters and well-timed combinations. Davis focused almost entirely on body shots, pounding away as Roach pressed forward undeterred. Whenever Davis's attack slowed, Roach took advantage, sneaking in counters to keep the champion on his toes. In the 8th round, Roach caught Davis with a solid counter right hand. While Davis was never in serious danger, the exchange made it clear that he couldn't afford to fight recklessly. "I felt like I was breaking him down as the rounds went on, but he kept coming, so I didn't want to make any mistakes," Davis admitted. "I kept it cautious." Realizing the fight was hanging in the balance, the 30-year-old Davis stepped up his aggression in the championship rounds. He connected with some heavy shots, but none were enough to seriously hurt Roach. However, his increased activity was enough to win him the final 2 rounds on all 3 judges' scorecards, securing a draw and allowing him to leave New York with his title intact. Statistically, it was a measured contest. Davis landed 103 of 279 punches in a highly selective approach, while Roach was the busier fighter, throwing 400 punches and landing 112.
It was a great event. Great event. It was a great fight. They put in a fantastic performance. Both of them did, for real. Both of them really did put in a fantastic performance. It was a great fight, you know. All that good stuff. All that good stuff. You know, it was a draw. At the end of the day, people are unsatisfied. You know, I feel like, I always keep it a buck.
I'm just a little disappointed in the decision, Roach admitted. I thought I pulled it off, but that's what happens when two skilled fighters go at it. I definitely believe I won, but we can run it back. Even though I didn't get the official win, in my book, it's a victory. But we're not settling for that. We need a real W. And that's a wrap for now. For the latest updates, highlights, and breaking news in the boxing world, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on top-tier content. Until next time, peace out.